Hello, my name is Heather Smith, and I am here with Ash Brown from Empiraa. And today, Ash is going to give us a demonstration of how Empiraa works. So Empiraa is an online tool designed for business planning and goal tracking. It's useful for various business types, including startups, SMBs, and consultants. It offers features like centralised planning, AI-driven strategic tools, and over 6,000 integrations to streamline processes and enhance efficiency. Empiraa aims to increase visibility across organisations, facilitating collaboration and ensuring strategic goals are met more effectively. So over to you, Ash. We're looking forward to hearing all about Empiraa.
No, thanks, Heather. You couldn't have said that better. It's funny when you've got a product, you sit there and you think of different things, but it's great to hear it from your voice because it nails it. So, yeah, look, Empiraa is, as you said, a business planning and execution tool. I've thought I'd just do a bit of a walkthrough how the platform works, how it connects to other platforms, whether Google Sheets, Xero, QuickBooks, MYOB, HubSpot, whatever your tech stack is, and just sort of explain sort of how it can work for you. So let me just quickly, I will share my screen now. You'll see here, this is the hub of Empiraa. But before we get into the hub, because everyone loves getting into the data and going, oh, this is great. One of the things that Empiraa does, and my vision from day one, is actually take the user through a journey where they're actually thinking about their business differently. And the thing is with strategic initiatives is sometimes people will start and they just don't quite know what to do. And the hardest thing in the world to do is start. So we try to take the user on a journey. We've got set up your organization. We've got this one here, go nuts for donuts, because no matter who you are, everyone loves donuts. So me, probably too much. We've got a vision statement creator here, vision statement here. And then we've also got AI in the platform that can help you create your own vision statement. Because to be honest, sometimes a lot of businesses have got them and they're really old and antiquated, and a good vision statement should be a reflection of what you see your business doing. So have you done much with vision statements before, Heather, in your past?
I had one set up for my business as well.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it currently is, but I do like the fact that you can write it. I do find that vision statements evolve over time, and it looks like sort of you're giving being online and being accessible to staff is a good thing.
Yeah, I always use the term that they're static and they sit on a catalog on someone's desk out the front of their practice, and no one's got any idea what it is anymore. Vision statement, real good vision statements should be addressed every 12 months because business is evolving, and that's where the next thing is core values. So, what's the core values of your business? What are you trying to achieve? What do you want your business to stand for? And that's really, really important, especially if you're an accountant or an advisor or a consultant that's working with your client. One that really, to understand what your client wants to do is understand what do they stand for. And I think a lot of the times people sit there and they go, oh, hang on a minute, I haven't really thought of that. And that's why we've been able to preload roughly about 150 odd core values in there to help people start effectively. So there's some cool ones in there. We've got grounded but large. If you're a Kobe Bryant fan like myself, there's Mamba mentality. There's some good little Easter eggs, or you can create your own. So
I saw the unicorn one at the top. I like that, made me smile.
oh, there you go. Be different. Yeah, that's yeah. We put that in for you, Heather. Then it's about creating company goals. What are the goals that you want to achieve, or you want to achieve with your client? So what do they want to do? Do they want to expand their market? Do they want to grow their revenue? Do they want to develop their brand, create operational efficiency? We try to give a really flexible framework to allow everyone. One thing we learned really early on, talking to consultants, strategists, advisors, everyone's got the same sort of idea of what they want to do, but they've got different variations. So what we're trying to do is create a strategic framework, and a strategic sandbox. It's probably a better term. So people can actually sit there and implement their own frameworks into Empiraa versus, being pushed down a certain rabbit hole. So for us, it's really, really simple. What goals do you want to achieve? And it's just like, well, actually, we want to, develop the brand. Once you've got this set up, then we start going into the My Hub, and that's when we start running. That's when we start aligning objectives to those goals. And so you've got a goal here. Let's have a look at this one: revenue growth. Well, you want to actually. What are the objectives we're trying to achieve to ensure this goal takes off? So you can see here we've got e-commerce expansion, retail sales growth, and wholesale revenue increase. So there's 3 different avenues that they're trying to increase their revenue, so that way they achieve the overall goal of revenue growth. You can see here that you can actually create sub actions to it. So here we've got, they want to do $100,000 worth of sales, but they also, to get that $100,000 worth of sales in the e-commerce business, they need to increase their monthly website visitors to 250,000 website visitors over the next 6 months. They need to improve the conversion rate, and they need to increase their order value. So suddenly you're creating actions around the goals. So I'm sure, Heather, when you've spoken to clients and that previously, it's not just about just creating what's your top line goals, how you're going to achieve it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want it to be realistic and not trigger one area too hard and make the other area sort of cave in.
And that's exactly right. You really want to be able to have balance and also focus on what you actually need to focus on. And a lot of times, business owners will focus on the squeaky wheel, and that will get the oil. But they don't realize that squeaky wheel doesn't actually need the attention. It's actually another room that needs more attention. We use the term, it's like turning the lights on in your house. And so you walk down the hallway, you look down you've got dark rooms, and everyone just, to be honest, most businesses just walk into the kitchen, they open the fridge, and if there's money in there or if there's food in there, they're happy with the business. But they don't realize their bathroom sink is leaking, their light bulbs are blown in 3 bedrooms, but there's food in the fridge. So they've got these issues that they don't even realize. And that's what we're doing. We're just turning the lights on in your business effectively. We use a simple, very, very simple traffic light system. Red means, well, we really got to pay some attention to this. It's failing. Orange means it's at risk. And green means thumbs up, things are going well. So we really try to keep a real simplified view. You can see here that we've been able to build 4 goals, which is the revenue growth. We've been able to put some objectives underneath them. The brand development, we've been able to align 3 objectives underneath there. So brand awareness campaigns. So you can see here that we want to increase customer acquisition. We want to improve the brand awareness. And we also want to increase our campaign risk. So you can see here that things aren't going that well. But with strategy, this is the difference between strategy and project management. Sometimes strategy, you can overall be achieving what you need to achieve, but you can look here and go, well, actually, we didn't need to set the goal to be that high, because 205 got us to where we're going. So maybe we can set more an aggressive goal up the top. So you're starting to learn about your business, about what works and what doesn't. So it's really, really important to sort of have that sort of vision of your business.
Who do you find takes ownership of this? Is it the business owner or is it the consultant?
We generally find that they work in collaboration a lot of the time. So what will happen is that the consultant will actually help the client build the plan, and then they'll roll it out with them and ourselves. And then the CEO or CFO generally will get involved, and they'll manage the plan with the executive team or the business owners and their managers. So the key here is to distribute and collaborate around the plan. So it's not just about, as you can see here, you've got new market entry, which is great, but you can see that the new market entry is being allocated to myself. But then you can see James Jones is looking after 3 of the objectives. So it's about distributing and creating collaboration around that plan. Because a lot of the time, the reason why plans fail is because they're static and they're in spreadsheets and they're not distributed. So think about it like a game plan effectively. Best game plans, you bring everyone in.
Absolutely.
So this is the high level view. One of the great things about what we do is you can see here that if you're just a user, so once again, I've distributed my KPIs over to the sales manager, and to say I'm the sales manager, I can see the KPIs that I'm responsible for. So I get an email, say check into Empiraa. I can see what we've got there, 5 KPIs I'm in charge of, and I can go, okay, actually I've got to increase. How am I going here? I've got to focus on this because I haven't increased the retail locations. So I've got to start focusing on that and the partnership development. I'm going well with new market entry. I've done nothing with save money, so I really got to pull my finger out there. And so then I can start seeing my responsibility to the plan. So, and that's where the sort of the secret of the sauce is like bringing people in and sort of allowing everyone to feel their why. Why are we doing this? Because we're helping the business achieve greater success. We've got high level views as well. So from a board level, or if you're working with if you're a consultant and you're working with your client and you just want to see, okay, let's have a look at the top view. We can see here, engage in cultural programs, thumbs up, we're doing really well. New market entry, yep, going well. But partnership development and increased retail locations, we're not really going as well as we need to on there. So let's find out why. Let's investigate why these issues are popping up. Once again, going back and turning the lights on in the business. And it's got all high level. Once again, your staff will only see what they've got access to. So if you're running a cost-cutting operation or whatever you're trying to do, they won't see those type of sensitive data. So you can actually really quarantine what they can and can't see, because sometimes strategic plans are about downsizing and it sucks, but that's just the way it is sometimes. So you can actually create, there's enough security fences around there to stop that. Cool thing about it also, we talked about it before, the vision statement and the core values, they sit here. So they're always in your face. So you've always got access to the core vision, the core values and the vision. So instead of having it, like Heather, you said before, I've got a vision statement and you can't recall what it is, you can easily go on the My Plan and see what your vision statement is.
Absolutely.
One of the things that we did do, and this is when in development, we realized that consultants and advisors really have different frameworks that they work with. So what we were able to do is we were able to put KPIs, OKRs, and ROCs into the. So your objective is whatever you want to whatever your framework leans towards, because people have biases between different things. KPIs are fantastic for numerical based or financial based targets. OKRs are a bit more broad task based, and ROCs are something that's really emerging with the EOS framework that's coming out through the book Traction. And a lot of people are implementing EOS at the moment. So goals and ROCs align far more to their framework and language. So once again, that strategic sandbox that we're talking about.
So if someone's adopting the Traction philosophy, Empiraa is a good tool that they can use to roll out.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting a lot of adoption in the US, especially around the franchise space, around EOS. Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not sure if you're up to date with EOS, but EOS is very simply a very simple framework that, to be honest, is quite effective, and it's actually influencing some of our future product updates with the meetings and to-do lists and IDSs that are going into the platform in the next 3 months. So
fantastic.
Yeah. So regarding collaboration, which is really the heart of this, is you're able to you're able to go into the platform and collaborate, share documents, share links, communicate about an objective. So you can actually go, hey, do you need a hand with this? You jump in, communicate with the user, and tag people into it. So once again, creating communication. And this is actually evolving in a very, very big way in the next 3 months to actually be able to have meetings, notes, history, revision. So we're really doing a lot of work on this to work on the collaboration space. One of the things that a lot of people come up to us is go, okay, it's data entry. how often do we get check-ins? You'll get a check-in as often as you want to set the pace up. When you set up the objective, you can set it up to check in monthly, quarterly, or weekly. So if it's a weekly check-in, they'll get your users, the person you've allocated it to, will get an email once a week on where it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's bringing them back into the plan. So it's about just constantly, you don't want to live in Empiraa, but you want to constantly have these notifications that continually bring you back into it. It's not a task management tool. And a lot of people say, oh, how's it compared to Asana or a Trello? Or it doesn't. It's task management is vastly different from strategic planning and execution. You've written plenty about business planning, Heather. You can probably talk more of that than I could.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is different, and it's good that you have the option to bring people in, and especially, I imagine you might change that up a bit. Like initially, it's a weekly thing, and then as you get busier, you pull back and make it monthly. But then, as you maybe fall off the track, you may push back to the weekly again.
Yeah, and that's got the flexibility to change that quite simply. I know you love AI. And this is so we've got AI in the platform. So you can put in here business type. We can say consultant.
Oh, spelled it wrong.
I always spell everything wrong, and I thank God for that. Business goals: grow clients by 50% over the next 6 months, and then we hit run, and then it starts to actually give you OKRs, KPIs, and rocks that you can actually put into the platform. So sometimes the hardest thing to do sometimes is start, as we discussed.
Yeah.
And knowing where to go and who to talk to, and so talk to the platform. And some consultants will say, well, actually, you're replacing us. Well, actually, no. It's actually, we want to enhance you. No different from a tradesman using a power saw versus a handsaw. We actually want you to work more efficiently and work with your clients and be able to ask them the questions and collaborate with our AI platform to create better plans and better objectives for them so they succeed faster. So that to me, they increase revenue per client, enhance consultancy skills. So it gives you 4 or 5 objectives that you sit to go, actually, you know what? I actually never thought about enhancing my customer satisfaction score. So suddenly I can start running surveys. That's the beauty of AI, and we're building a massive LLM in here that they'll be able to actually start giving you suggestions by about January. By January next year, it'll be a very, very, very intense product. So,
and is it accessing other clients' data?
No. We run on a single tenancy, which is very, very deliberate. So it won't access other people's data at all. So security is absolutely paramount for us.
Will you, if say you have 5 architectural businesses on this, be able to surface summaries of the information that they're putting into in terms of goals?
As a client, no, because we're actually going to be using Google Gemini as the back end, and it'll be learning without sort of revealing too much. It'll be learning your particular business and marrying it to the data pool that they're using for that. So
cool.
I don't want to reveal. I'm not trying to be cagey. I just don't want to reveal too many of the trade secrets.
No.
no, but yeah, we're working.
Bill Gates is probably watching right now.
Yeah, but in all, we're really investing a lot into our LLMs and
Fantastic.
making sure that it provides the best value for users.
Yeah.
Because that's our goal is, Heather, and this is a massive thing for me because I've been part of small to medium businesses all my life. To hear only 10% of small to medium businesses make it to year 5 and 50% have gone after 1 year, it's devastating. So if we can play a small part in closing that gap, that to me is, because no one starts a business. Everyone starts a business with unbridled optimism, and and then it's like a drip drippy tap. It will just slowly wear them down. So if we can actually give them vision and clarity on where they're going as a business, so they don't get hit in the back of the head.
Yep.
That's the vision.
Sensational.
So with that being said, one of the things that we do, this is a good segue, I never mean to plan. We actually connect up to, this is really relevant to your client base and to your audience, is we connect up to products like Xero, QuickBooks, MYOB. And the reason, and we're able to do that with we've got an API, which we've got an open API that anyone that signs up to Empira's got full access to. So they could create their own integrations, or they could use Zapier, which is just an amazing tool. With Zapier, we've got an integration with Zapier. The reason why we did that versus actually building individual integrations is because with a product like ours, we've got so many use cases on a daily basis we get asked for. And it was like, well, why don't we just build an open API? People can create their own, number one. Or number two, there's 30 million people or so that use Zapier. Let's just leverage that power. So, and, products like QuickBooks, Xero, MYOB are putting more investment into their Zapier integrations now, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and I've just even noticed today, since last week, Xero's now got bank transaction as an event in Zapier, where previously it didn't have it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, there's a nice little list here. Actually, bank transaction, new bill, new contact, credit note, expense claim, new payment, new quote, sales invoice, and updated invoice. So, but previously didn't have the bank transaction. So that's the sort of stuff that's really, really handy for us. But just on this, for this particular use case, you can see here we've got wholesale revenue increase, and we want to get to 25 million, and we're currently at 4.3. Every time we can actually set it up, so every time a new sales invoice is coming through Xero, it will actually pull directly into Empiraa, and it'll add it. So you send an invoice out and they pay it. There's another $10,000 or whatever the number is. It'll pull directly into this objective here. So we're starting to create a living, breathing strategy that you're not just sitting there going, oh, okay, well, I've got to enter the data in. That data entry is a pain. Because everyone hates putting data in. It'll actually start pulling it in naturally. And you could do that so it's in lifetime. So every time a sale gets done in Xero, it'll pull through in lifetime. Or you can actually have it so it just happens as one event once a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on how many zaps you want to use. So it's really, it's that, and also too, you can connect it directly to spreadsheets like Google Sheets, Excel, connect up to HubSpot. A really good use case I've seen recently is a person's running a sales team, and they want to measure how many sales calls their sales team's making.
Yep.
So every time they're making a sales call, it'll actually pull through into the KPI into Empiraa.
Yeah.
So they can sit there and go, well, we saw you made 67 calls this week. Fantastic. And your KPI was 35. You're exceeding the KPI. Well done. And by the way, you can start seeing, because that's aligned to their budget. So you can start going, well, actually, you're exceeding your budget, but you can have a look at all the activity underneath it. You're making the phone calls, you're setting up the proposals, you're doing the follow-ups, and you're exceeding budget. So then you're starting to understand what works in your business and what doesn't.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's a big thing for us, just to create a collaborative plan. And on that too, we actually work with like we were talking about consultants. We work with consultants, and we've got their own plans.
Yes.
So we don't just say, go and sign up into Empiraa on the website and off you go. We've actually created consultant-based plans, consultant advisors, that actually includes 20 client accounts per month, 20 client accounts. So what it does is it allows the consultant to go, okay, I'm going to buy a lot of allotment of client accounts, and I'm going to roll those out to my clients, and it's going to be very cost effective for them, because what we've actually discovered, it saves anywhere from 10 to 15 hours a month on data entry, follow-ups, and nagging effectively. But what it actually does as well, it actually creates about 15 to 20 hours a month per user in efficiencies for the business, because they're not spending 2 or 3 hours a week chasing numbers, pouring through reports. They've got access to this stuff. So rather it's creating efficiencies for the consultant, and it's creating efficiencies for the client. And the other side of it, which is really, really cool, is it takes away that pain point of, have you opened the email? Have you checked it? Have you checked the spreadsheet? I haven't that. So, and then the other side of it, it creates talking points.
Yes.
That they can go in and have a look. So here we've got the solo. So if a consultant works with solo founders, it's 20 clients for 3 users. Mid-market, so for bigger consultants and advisories, and then we've got emerging, and then we've got an enterprise. We've put this at a really, really sharp price, because at the end of the day, we want advisors and consultants to work with their clients and make them succeed.
Yeah.
that's the long and short of it. We really want to do that. So we've got a consultant community that we're building. It's global. We've had 48 sign up in the last 3 weeks. I've just been
fantastic
told.
Congratulations.
And we're aiming to get about 250 by the end of next month. And part of that is we actually want them to have access to the platform, obviously, but we want them to have access to our dev team and myself to come to us and say, hey, look, we think you're building this, but we would love to have this. This would make our life easier.
Yeah.
So you basically getting, and it's allowing us to adjust our product roadmap to create a better product for advisors and consultants, because if we provide the best product for them, they're going to just keep endorsing it, and we don't want to lose touch of that. So that's really, really important, and that's really the big one. And if, in all honesty, if you want to grab us and see us and reach out to us, we're Empiraa.com, EMPIRAA.com. And I'm available at ash@empiraa.com, or find me on LinkedIn at Ash Brown, which is pretty easy to remember. Just remove the H. Everyone calls it Ash Brown. On LinkedIn, active there. Love LinkedIn. It's a great networking tool.
Thank you so much, Ash, for showcasing Empiraa and how it works. Do you find that it suits all micro, small to medium-sized businesses, or are there some business that it doesn't suit?
I would think that the businesses that it doesn't suit, where we're seeing probably the least success, if I was going to be frank, would be businesses that are like startups up to probably 2 or 3 people that are just sort of sole traders, just sort of operating under about $1 million revenue. Generally, when it's generally it's $1 million to our core demographics, about $1 million to about $100 million a year. I don't know, that sounds like a lot. It's a very big, but it's actually not that big of a segment.
Yep.
So generally that 1 to 100 million per year turnover is like the sweet spot for us.
And are you aware of sort of the typical? I know that you connect with 6,000 apps, but what are sort of maybe the top 3 apps or pieces of technology that your clients connect with?
Yeah, generally HubSpot. HubSpot is probably number 1 by a bullet. Spreadsheets. A lot of CFOs run obviously with spreadsheets, and what they'll do is they'll connect the figures up directly from the spreadsheet into Empiraa. So they're putting together a board pack that they'll pull through. So spreadsheets and Asana, believe it or not, people sit there and they go, yeah. So what will happen is that there's actually a workflow that if you actually, once you close off a project in Asana, you can actually pull it through into Empiraa.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually go, okay, well, this is added 50% to our to our projects, to our objective. So Asana, which goes back to the original point, we don't do task management. And it's actually funny, like a lot of people say, oh, why wouldn't you do task management? Because there's really good tools out there to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
There's good tools out there. Why we're not trying to take on $1 billion behemoth. We've just got this really cool product. We believe it's cool, that's actually helping businesses. I think today we well over 1,000 businesses globally that allows people to actually, get the vision of the strategic initiatives for the first time ever.
Fantastic. Yes. Thank you so much for answering my questions, Ash. And if anyone wants to get in contact with Ash Brown on LinkedIn, or just go to the website Empiraa, and check it out and do a trial run, see whether it works for your business. But really appreciate you spending time with us here today, Ash.
Thanks, Heather. Thanks once again. You've been a great supporter of ours, and I couldn't thank you enough.